In this video, I'm going to talk about bond conditions here in Johnson County, Kansas. Now, before we can do that, you have to give a little bit of a primer on what bond is. Bond is essentially a promise that you will come back to court if you're released. Now, some people, their promise isn't as good as others, so the court will require cash or surety or some other conditions before they will allow the person out. The court will generally consider someone's ability to show up for court, their prior criminal record, their past history in showing up to the court, and the severity level of the crime that they're currently charged with. Now, here in Johnson County, there are several different conditions that a court may impose on somebody while they are out on bond. In other words, not just paying money and promising to come back to court, but also certain requirements that person that's out on bond must do to stay out on bond. Now, one of the most restrictive bond conditions that a court can impose on somebody is to be on house arrest. Now, house arrest is essentially wearing a GPS monitor and then having to tell a house arrest officer anytime you want to leave your house and get permission. So it's very close to like being in jail, it's just that you're at your home. A step down from that would be on GPS monitoring, but without having to be on the restrictions of house arrest. What I mean by that is you would have a monitor on you at all times that would report your GPS location to Johnson County. However, you wouldn't have to go out every single time you wanted to leave the house and get permission from a house arrest officer. A step below GPS monitoring would be someone that is on pretrial services. Now, pretrial services is like being on probation while your case is pending. You're required to meet with a pretrial services officer, you're required to take drug tests sometimes, and basically they can ask you to do reasonable things that a person on probation would do. Now, the least restrictive bond conditions someone might find themselves under is essentially just a cash or surety bond with the standard conditions. Standard conditions being no firearms, no contact with witnesses on the complaint unless approved by the court, no drugs or alcohol, and no law violations. If you find yourself charged with a crime in Johnson County and you've been placed on bond and you need to understand the conditions that you are supposed to be abiding by while on bond, feel free to contact my office.